Sign up to the SBR Network and use your free daily bet points to earn real-world prizes. Click on the page and start winning now.
Hello and welcome to SBRforum.com. In this video, we're taking a look at Game 4 between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, we were bang on in Games 2 and 3 with the over, and then taking the Pens in Game 3, and hopefully we can continue that trend with another good pick, an accurate pick, I should say, in Game number 4. Now, if you watch Game number 3, I think it was a turning of the tide in this series. You know, every single game in this series, believe it or not, there's been a team that's led 3-1, had a 2-goal lead, and that team has lost every single time. However, I think something has changed in Game 2. Obviously, it was, in Game 3. Obviously, it was Columbus that held the 3-1 lead in Game 3 and blew that at home in front of their home audience. But if you take a look at how that game was played, something changed in the second period. The light bulb went on for the Penguins, and they were a completely different team from that point on. I expect that to continue in Game number 4. Now you take a look at Game number 3, you know, you got the late second period goal, which really buoyed the Pittsburgh Penguins to really come out in the third period and come out, you know, guns a-blazing. But really it was something before that. I don't know exactly what it was, but they started to lay the wood to Columbus in the second period. Hard forecheck, a lot of pressure on the Blue Jackets defense and their blue line, and eventually they broke through. We saw them go down early 3-1 in the third period. Didn't matter. They scored 3 goals in a span of, what was it, 3 minutes or so, and absolutely dominated. Even beyond that, they probably could have scored more in that period, as they were in the Blue Jacket zone almost the entire time. I think Columbus had 5 shots or less in the third period, which is absolutely pathetic considering they're at home. You know, they're trailing. They needed a goal. They couldn't do anything to break the Penguins' pressure. And I think that's the story of the series now. We saw this last year with the Penguins and the Islanders. You know, the Isles really pushed the Penguins in the first round for the first couple of games, but then obviously something went right for Pittsburgh. Something turned the tide. You know, it's a team that maybe it was something that the head coach Dan Bylsma said to push the right buttons, but they woke up, they started playing better, as did the Penguins in Game 3, and I think that carries over into Game 4. Again, you're laying a small amount of juice with the Penguins in this spot because they're on the road, but I don't trust Columbus here. I think it's a team that's nervous. They're not in a position that they're comfortable in. You know, they haven't been in the playoffs very often. Obviously, just four playoff games before this series. They haven't won at a playoff game at home. You know, I know that the fans are fired up. I know that this team is doing their best, but this is really the little engine that could. This team doesn't have enough offense to compete with Pittsburgh, and the sad thing is they've scored 3 goals, or at least 3 goals every single game, and they've still lost 2 of the 3 games. On top of that, the Penn Stars, we're talking Crosby, Malkin, Kunitz, and James Neal, still doing very little in this series. If they get going, you know, Game 4 might not even be close. So I do like the Penguins in this spot. Game 4, I'll take them one more time while the juice is low, while they're on the road, and then hopefully they get the win and take a 3-1 series lead, and we'll reevaluate a play for Game number 5. Thanks for watching this video right here on SBRforum.com. We'll catch up with you again soon.